Hi there, and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we'll be learning about fractions, okay? And under fractions, we'll be learning to multiply and divide fractions. So multiplication and division of fractions. Now, as the lesson progresses, anything you don't understand, be sure to contact your tutor who would be more than happy to help. Now, let's jump right into the lesson. So fractions, multiplication and division of fractions. Now, just like addition and subtraction of fractions, multiplication and division, very simple. Okay, it's actually easier, simpler than addition and subtraction, multiplication and division. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So we have this question here, okay, and we've been asked to multiply these two fractions. So we have 1/3 and 3/4. And we're looking to multiply 1/3 and 3/4. Now, to multiply these two fractions, actually really easy. 1/3 times 3/4, we just multiply the numbers, okay? We multiply the two numerators, we multiply the two denominators, it gives us our answer straight away. So multiply the two numerators, 1 times 3 gives you 3, and then the denominators, 3 times 4 gives you 12. And quite simply, we have 3/12. Okay, so as opposed to addition where you only work the numerator, for multiplication you actually multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator as well. Okay, so 1/3 times 3/4, simply 1 times 3 gives you 3, 3 times 4 gives you 12. That's it. Very simple. Okay, and here we have 3/12. Okay, and we can, from equivalent fractions, we can actually reduce this, simplify this by dividing the numerator and denominator by 3, and we'd end up with 1/4. Very simple. That's pretty much it. Very easy, multiplying fractions. Now, to make our work easier, okay, we often try to reduce the fractions before we multiply. Okay, so we have a situation like this where we have 1/3 times 3/4. We can actually reduce the fractions before we multiply, and what we do is we consider all of the fractions as though they were one fraction. Okay, we look at the fractions. Basically, we have 1/3 and 3/4, and we're going to look at the fractions as though we had just one fraction, and we're going to divide, we're going to cancel out. Okay, we're going to reduce the numerators and denominators together. Okay, let's explain this now. So we have 1/3 and 3/4, and what I can simply do, normally if I had an equivalent fraction, if I had a regular fraction like 3/12, I can say 3 go into the numerator gives me 1, and then 3 into the denominator gives me 4. Okay, but now I have 1/3 times 3/4. I can actually say 3 here 1 and 3 here 1. What it is we can actually use the numerator of one fraction to cancel out the denominator of the other fraction, okay, when we're multiplying. Okay, so anytime you're multiplying, just think of the fractions as 1, and you can actually reduce the fractions with the numerator of one fraction and the denominator of another. Okay, so 1/3 times 3/4, I can say 3 into the numerator of 3/4, 3 gives me 1, and then 3 to the denominator of 1/3 gives me 1, and basically I have 1 times 1 over 1 times 4, and it just gives me my answer straight away, 1/4. So the one difference here, basically it's pretty much the same thing, all right, but then in the first one we multiplied and then we started canceling out, we started reducing the fractions, but this time around we decided it's actually often simpler to cancel out, to reduce the fractions before you multiply. So all we did here is we just canceled out before multiplying, and like I said, when you're canceling out, anytime you're multiplying fractions, you can actually cancel out with two different fractions. So you can cancel the denominator of one fraction with the numerator of the other one. Okay, so, and that's pretty much it, multiplying fractions. All right, you cancel out and then you multiply. Very simple. Now what about division? Okay, so we have divide 1/2 by 3/8. Division, just like multiplication, very simple. Okay, and basically we have 1/2 divided by 3/8. And here's what you do when you're dividing 1/2 divided by 3/8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. Okay, anytime you divide in fractions, division becomes, you change the division to multiplication. The only difference is that once you change that division to multiplication, the fraction on the right, okay, is the fraction on the right, always the fraction on the right. Nothing happens to the fraction on the left. Okay, so 1 over 2 stays as it is, but if you notice, 3 over 8 has become 8 over 3, so we flip the fraction on the right. Okay, now when you divide in fractions like this, basically you have 1 over 2 divided by 3 over 8, it becomes 1 over 2 times, you flip 3 over 8, 8 over 3. Okay, so division becomes multiplication, and then you flip the fractions. Okay, the fraction on the right, and quite simply from this point, very easy, you just need to multiply, and you can cancel out just like we did in the first step, in the first example there. You can cancel out and say 2 here, 1, 2 here. 2 and 8 would give you 4. Okay, and now we have 1 times 4 gives you 4, and 1 times 3 gives you 3, and your answer is 4 over 3. All right, and then you can basically have 4 over 3. This is an improper fraction. We can go ahead, convert it to a mixed fraction, and we have one whole number, 1 over 3. Very simple. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, so when you multiply, you just multiply like you normally do. So you say numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, you get your answer straight away. And then you can always cancel out if you have any opportunities to cancel out, to reduce your fractions before multiplying, so you're not multiplying very big numbers. You can definitely do that. And then for division, all you have to do, convert the division sign to multiplication, and then flip the fraction on the right. Okay, so if you have 2 over 5 on the right, it becomes 5 over 2. If you have 1 over 3 on the right, it becomes 3 over 1. Okay, so anything you have on the right, you flip it, and the division sign becomes multiplication. And yeah, let's go ahead now and solve some examples. Now, example 1. And example 1 says evaluate 2 over 3 times 9 over 10. Okay, so 2 over 3 times 9 over 10. And quite simply, we have 2 over 3 times 9 over 10. We'll look, can we cancel out some numbers here? Of course we can. Okay, so we have 3 here gives us 1. And then 3 in 9 will give you 3. Okay, and then we can also divide again. Saying 2 here would give us 1, and 2 in 10 would give us 5. Remember, you can cancel the numerator and denominator of any of the fractions here. Okay, so if you see any opportunity where you can divide by a certain number, but then it has to be the numerator and the denominator. Okay, you can't cancel numerator and numerator. It has to be either the number at the top and the number of the bottom. You can cancel 2 numbers on the top or 2 numbers at the bottom. You definitely just go ahead and do that. Okay, and then what you're left with is you have 1 over 3, 1 and 3 on the top, and then 1 and 5 on the bottom. So you have 1 times 3 gives you 3, and 1 times 5 gives you 5. And quite simply, that's it. Answer 3 over 5. Okay, let's go ahead and do another example. Example 2. And example 2 says evaluate 2 over 7 divided by 4 over 5. So 2 over 7 divided by 4 over 5. Very simple. All we have to do is turn that division sign to multiplication and then flip the fraction on the right. Okay, so 4 over 5 becomes 5 over 4. And now we can go ahead and cancel out. I believe we can cancel 2 here, 1, 2 here, 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then what you have is you have 5 times 1 over 7 times 2. So 5 times 1 is 5. 7 times 2 is 14. Very simple. Okay, another one. This is actually quite fun. Okay, so very simple math. Let's do another one. Okay, so here we have mixed numbers. Okay, so mixed numbers, and when you're multiplying mixed numbers, first thing you want to do, you want to convert those mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay, so we have 1 over 2. We have 2 times 1 plus 1 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 will give you 3 over 2. And then similarly for 2, 1 over 3, you have 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 gives you 7. So you have 7 over 3. All right. And from this point, you just go ahead and cancel out your numbers. You have 3 here, 1. 3 here, 1. Okay, can we cancel out any other numbers? No, we can't. So we just go ahead and say our answer is 7 over 2, which if you convert back to a mixed number, you have 3, 1 over 2. Very simple, very straightforward. I think we have a few more examples. Okay, now example 4. And example 4 says evaluate 2 1 over 3 divided by 2 4 over 5. Okay, so we have mixed numbers and we're looking to divide. And quite simply, we just convert these to improper fractions. Okay, and then once we've done that, next thing we want to do is we want to change division to multiplication. And the minute you do that, or the second you do that, you flip the fraction on the right. So 14 over 5 becomes 5 over 14. And now we look closely. Can we cancel out any numbers? We're looking to multiply now. Can we cancel out any numbers? We can go 7 here, 1, and 7 here, 2. Okay, any other ones? No, we can't cancel anymore. And we just go 1 times 5 is 5, and 3 times 2 is 6. And our answer in this case, quite simply, 5 over 6. Now, final example, example 5. And example 5, okay, we have mixed numbers here, and we have a mix of multiplication and division. It looks complicated, but just as easy, just as simple. And let's just go ahead and do this. So we have 2 3 over 4 times 1 1 over 3 divided by 2 over 3. Okay, and first thing we want to do, we want to convert to improper fractions. Okay, so we have 11 over 4 plus 4 over 3 divided by 2 over 3. 11 over 4 times 4 over 3 divided by 2 over 3. And we need to work the division sign there. Okay, so change the division sign to multiplication, and then we flip the sign on, we flip the fraction on the right. Okay, so basically we have divided by 2 over 3 becomes multiplied by 3 over 2. And from this point, we can just go ahead and cancel out numbers. Okay, and then we can say 3 here, 1, 3 here, 1, then 4 here, 1, 4 here, 1. Okay, can we cancel out any other numbers? No, we just go ahead and say our answer is 11. 11 times 1 times 1 is 11, and then 1 times 1 times 2 is 2. And we have our final answer, 5 1 over 2. 11 over 2 equals 5 1 over 2. And that's it. That's how to multiply and divide fractions. Very, very simple. So multiplication, quite easy. You just need to look at the numbers you can cancel out, and then you multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator, you get your answer. Division, you change the multiplication. Okay, and the second you do that, you flip the fraction on the right. So 1 over 2 becomes 2 over 1. 5 over 6 becomes 6 over 5. And yeah, pretty much it. You can now go ahead and attempt the questions on the worksheet. Bye for now.